easy go.
What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? Welcome to the podcast number 2. Today we have some special guests today. Today we have Apo himself, and we have Mr. Rage from Hades. And of course, we have our lovely hosts, Mitch and One Way, joining us as well. Today we're going to have a Father's Day special. We're going to talk about Father's Day, considering today's Father's Day. I hope everybody's out there who's tuning in is with their families and enjoying their time, but also tuning into this funny conversations we're going to have today. Well, let's get to our guests here. We'll start off with Apo. Apo, how are you, man? How are you doing?
Oh, doing great. I'm ready to get this thing started. Don't know what to expect, but I'm ready.
I hope you're ready for a hell of a treat. We got some good topics we're going to be covering with you, starting with your, you being a father and everything else. I'd like to know a little bit about that. It's more interesting. But we'll cover up a bunch of funny topics as well that I have to, you're a funny guy, so I want to make sure everybody laughs today. But Rage, how are you, my man?
Not doing too bad. Just kind of relaxing. Just got home from work, ready to get this started here.
Nice. Yeah. I know we were talking yesterday, or a couple of days ago. You said you were gonna be getting off work, so this is the perfect time to catch you. You know what I mean? But
Yes, sir.
all right. So Misha, how are you doing, bro?
Yourself?
I'm doing all right. A little cold, but What about you, One Way? How are you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good as well. Just a little bit cold.
Yep. Awesome. All right, guys. So let's get started right away. We're gonna get to it so we can begin with the laughs, the fun stories, and the interesting topics we have for today. Um, of course, anybody watching today, you can also put in some questions. We'll answer those questions throughout the podcast. Just bear with us. It's gonna be a lot of questions like we had last week, but we're gonna keep up with the questions. We're gonna stay on topic as well. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are doing. We have a good amount of people online right now, so it's amazing. So we're gonna start off with Apo. Apo, I have a good question for you, man. This is a topic that I want to get to know you a little bit more with your personal life. Um, so a topic I have for you today is daddy issues. I want to know, like, pretty much, how is it being a father? How was your experience, pretty much, being growing up, and how are your kids right now? Like, how are they?
Right. So I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I had my first kid, Aubrey, it was life changing. I definitely wasn't the person I am today. And she definitely, opened my eyes a lot to what the world is and the world she's supposed to grow up in. And I would have to say a little bit of that went into SGG, but we won't get too far into that. But I mean, definitely having my kids, it definitely has changed me as a person. And I
Mm.
mean, honestly, like I said, I wouldn't have it any other way. Sometimes they get on my nerves, but I still love them dearly. I mean,
Yeah.
they do some of the craziest stuff, like putting chalk on a whiteboard. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently they found a way. And then apparently, they got DIY carpet sets out there for kids, and they found that too. I don't know how they got it in the house, but they still got it. Um, but still, so it's definitely is fun to have them.
That's good. That's good, man. That's good to hear. It's just, I mean, I'm not a father yet, but any kind of anything I should prepare myself with for when that time comes. What do you
Well,
think?
everything they say is true. When they get quiet, that's the time to worry. Um,
Okay.
and then also, I mean, it is different with girls and boys. Like with my little boy, when he starts getting loud, that's kind of the time to worry. But when the girls get quiet, that's when you're supposed to worry with them, because they're normally doing something not supposed to either way. um, but also, I mean, the biggest thing is you're not going to be expected to expect the changes. For example, I didn't realize that I was gonna be brushing my teeth every night at 7 o'clock on the dot before I go to bed, and my oldest make sure that we don't forget. So
There you go.
stuff like that.
They keep your personal hygiene. I guess, pretty much up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's cool, man. I mean, I don't expect to have children anytime soon myself, but I just it's something that I definitely look forward to because like I grew up without a father. I didn't have a father growing up at all. He left when I was 2 years old. Don't want to get too detailed into it, but just not having that father figure and having a mother role model who was my father and mother at the same time what definitely taught me how to be more of a father figure for my children later on in the future. So definitely, especially hearing what you had to say, it's a good experience. It's a good, what I mean, it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to now. So Rage, got a question for you, my man.
Throw it at me.
So I know you're not a dad. We talked about that already. But do you have your father? How's your father to you
Um.
today?
Okay. So I have a very interesting situation. Um. My parents got divorced when I was 10. My mother remarried a couple years later, so I have two fathers actually. I have my stepdad and my real dad. Um, to speak on my stepdad's a great person. He stepped up when my real dad left, and basically doesn't really try to put any effort towards us.
Right.
Um, and he's an overall great person. He pushes me to try to do the best or be the best person I can be. And at the same time, he makes me want to pull my hair out with how idiotic he can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But in any sense of the word, I'm very grateful for having him around, being a father figure to me and to my sister, and basically
Yeah.
filling
So,
a gap in my
so
family.
that's your stepdad. That's pretty much
Yeah,
taking that role.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I have a stepdad currently as well. Um, we're not ever since I moved out of my mom's house. We haven't really connected as much as we should have, but we definitely had that connection where I let him know, like, hey, this is my mom, this is my pride, this is my joy. You know what I'm saying? Take care of her. You know what I mean? And he's definitely done a lot for her, helped her out. He's been a handyman, made me actually feel more comfortable of moving out of my mom's house and going into my own place. So definitely big props to all you stepdads out there, if there's any watching this right now.
facts.
But for sure,
Facts.
like, if people can actually take that extra step and actually be the father role model for children like myself or people like myself that has gone through situations like that, I give you guys mad props for that. You know what I mean? I personally, I feel like I wouldn't be able to be a stepdad, but I'm not jinxing myself. I don't want to jinx myself either. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. You might find some little hot piece with kids, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, you know what? I'll be a stepdad." You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You never
But
know.
You're definitely not finding a hot piece.
but no, to answer the other part of the question, I really don't see my actual dad. My dad lives about 40 minutes away from me, and I've
Mm,
seen my dad in the past year maybe a handful of times. He typically
okay.
doesn't come around. If I see him, it's for like 20 minutes at a time, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
But um, no, I mean, I wouldn't change my situation for the world. I think it was for the best.
Yeah.
Uh, my dad really wasn't a good person, per se. I mean, he had me and my little sister, but that's about all he's contributed to my life, except for me having very very bad issues with raging at video games. But
Oh.
That takes the
but
best of all of us right there.
hence the
but
name. Hence the name SGG Rage, right?
Yep.
facts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
But no,
Facts.
I wouldn't change my situation for the world.
That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in the situation wouldn't either. I wouldn't, like, again, myself. Consider went through something similar, but like my dad, same thing. I haven't seen him. I think the last time I saw him when I was 14, and then I found out probably like 2 or 3 years ago he actually recently passed. So it's that part of my life right there for myself was kind of I couldn't have a closure for my father to kind of let him know that I'm a man and I grew up and You know what I mean? I have a lot of stuff for myself that I supported myself without his. It's just something that I've always kind of looked forward into kind of doing, especially at my age right now. But unfortunately, how things work, it's crazy how life works. You know what I mean? You never know when you're gonna get to say goodbye to someone, and it's really unfortunate. But let's get back on track. Let's getting too emotional here. We don't want to do that now.
Yep.
Um, so one way, how's your dad going, man? How's your dad? He's good.
Hey, I have a story for you. So I haven't lived with my dad. He kind of hit the dash when I was around 4 years old. Let's not get too emotional here, like you said. So when I was about four, my mom pretty much kicked him out because of like the type of person he was. He wasn't really fit to be a father, and he was just generally a bad person. He did bad things,
Oh
that
yeah,
type of person. And
yeah.
to be honest, right now at this moment and the past years, I really don't care about him. I mean, yeah, it kind of sounds tough, but like he wasn't there for me. I'm really not going to care for him. And then
Hmm.
he hasn't, this is getting really crazy, but he hasn't paid child support his whole career. And he owes my mom about like 400 grand, and that's insane. That put us in a bad place of him leaving. My mom having to take on like 2, 3 jobs at a time.
Right,
Moving everywhere. Like I said, I think I told you I moved from New Jersey, New York, back to New Jersey, New York. Um,
right,
Staying with my aunt. Just little things. But
right.
playing a role as a father, really affected my life. But at this point, I really don't care. I mean, I always joke about
You just got
stuff
to
that
keep
like
going,
I see.
bro. You just got to keep going. You know what I mean? Shoot for the
Yeah,
stars. There's so much more that you can actually
yeah,
prosper and gain from the life experiences you've been personally went through, and that's the way I've always led my life in doing.
exactly. But there's
So,
this one thing that I always want to be a father. That's one
oh, for
growing
sure,
up. Like,
for
because
sure.
I feel like the people that had their fathers had left them, that makes them want to be a father because they want to do better for this world. And I think that's
Oh
such a
yeah,
good thing. And that helped me as a man grow. Because not having a father, I mean, what do I need a man to show him that I'm a real man and I don't need him? Like, what do I need you for?
right, right,
That made me so much stronger. Like, I'm an alpha male now. Like, I don't really need anybody to take care of me. I mean, I still love my mother to death. She'll always be here for me, no matter what. Even me screaming on my Xbox and doing whatever I want, really acting like that crazy type of way, getting in fights and stuff like that. She'll always be here for me. But
right.
it's good to
That's
have
good.
still a role model in your life. And I have my sister. She plays a big role in my life as well.
Yeah,
My
no,
sister,
yeah, hell yeah,
she's really good to me.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
good
we
to have.
fight.
It's good to have siblings. You know what I mean? There to help you out. Like I have my little brother. He's like, man, he's the best person.
Yeah.
He's like my. I kind of help raise him too, but yeah. But all right, let's get off this sadness. Let's start laughing. Let's get into some jokes. All right, Micha. You still can't eat gluten, right?
Okay, nice. We want to get off the depression road, and he takes it to that.
Yeah,
I'll
gluten man.
launch myself into.
I just want to know,
Gluten
Misha.
shine.
I just want to know why. No, I mean, not I know why you can't eat gluten, but at the same time, like, are you ever able to eat gluten again? That's my real question to you.
You're gonna try it?
I mean, yeah, I can eat it again at one point if it goes into remission, but it's not
Okay.
confirmed that will happen.
Right. So you're kind of fighting through right now, right? We're gonna help you get through this shit. You're gonna
Yeah,
be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
eat.
you're gonna eat that gluten one day, man.
You're gonna eat a piece of pizza one day. I got you. All right. I'll personally deliver
I'll
it to you
fly you out
too.
to New York and you're gonna have some pizza with me, all right?
All right, so back on track. One way. Do you have any questions for Apo? Or actually, there's a couple questions here in the chat I want to get to. Apo, SGG Jackpot wants to know what are your kids' names?
Um, I won't give out their full names, but I'll give out their first names.
Okay.
Aubrey is the oldest. Um, Reagan would be the middle child, and my son Braden would be the youngest child. So I have three.
Okay, so three. Awesome. So that's a three. Perfect. All right, so one way. Do you have any questions for Apo? Anything for Rage?
Yeah. April, I have a big question for you since you are a father. As you can tell, I mean, from what I'm hearing, you've always been. But for the middle child, do you take care of him less than your oldest and youngest child? Is there a difference between the three of them? I mean, that you've realized in yourself that something's not the same about how you treat your middle child from the youngest and the oldest.
Um, for Reagan, I think it was a little bit different because I had a boy last. So I mean, obviously, most people want a boy, but it was kind of different for me. I mean, after I had my two girls, I mean, I was like, this is kind of nice. I already had, it was just me and the girls, and then out of nowhere, here come Braden. But as far as the question goes, I mean, I would consider me and Reagan. I mean, we've always had a pretty good relationship. Me and her always do wacky stuff, and she's the tattletale, so she always comes to me and says, Daddy, that they're doing this or they're doing that, and she speaks really good for two. So, that being said, like I said, I think me and her have a pretty good relationship.
That's good, man. It's always good to hear. All
Anything
right.
else for April?
I mean, there's one question off topic. Like you mentioned before, I mean, you not having a father had some stuff to do with SU. I mean, did you not having a father like motivate you to do anything in life? Give you any motivation?
I
Is
mean,
that
to to really go into that, I mean, it was kind of like I had the same situation as Enzo. Having a mom that worked really hard. I mean, shout out to all the single moms, by the way, that are pulling double duty today.
Yes, sir.
But when I was watching her, work all those long hours and the long shifts, it made me understand the world a little bit more. Seeing how kind of unfair it is at times, especially to single moms. But it made me kind of want to be the hardworking person I am today. And I think that she taught me a lot by watching her. I didn't get to see her a whole lot growing up, but I always knew she was taking care of me. So maybe that's why I try to take care of other people now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Anything for Rage, bro?
No, not really.
All right, Micho, what you got?
I'm curious what April's plans are for SUG in the long run. Like, where do you see us in the future?
Well, I would probably have to say it'll probably be something like that Cyberpunk game.
Oh yeah.
I'm Keanu
Sure.
Reeves, and you
Oh,
guys are.
oh, April, I was gonna give a funny
This guy.
response. You would have
But
laughed at this one.
I mean, if I'm being serious, eventually, I mean, I don't know if this is for every community out there, but I would like to be able to take the gaming out of it, to where it's not just gaming, but it's just the community, where people can come, whether they're having a bad day at work, bad day at school, and we don't have to play games. We can just sit here and talk, kind of like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean,
Makes sense because that's the direction kind of we're heading into. So, I mean, I really enjoy these podcasts. You get to know actually people one on one, which is really dope. Um,
um, I just have one question. So you said become less of a gaming community, but other clans and communities out there like Jays and other stuff like that. They kind of stopped gaming and it kind of brought them down a little bit, but it brought them together closer as people. Do you think that affects us at all?
Considering SGG as a whole across all platforms has a pretty cohesive bond for the example, if we needed someone for any game, we could pretty much ping any chat and get a response. Considering we're already pretty active, pretty cohesive bond, I would say that it wouldn't really do too much. If I had my guesses, it would bring more people into the community than vice versa, because we're obviously we're talking to more people than just in the community. Like you guys, obviously talk to me all the time, but
Yep.
people outside the community wouldn't. So they get to know people like Enzo and people like Mio more, and I honestly think it would bring more to the table than less.
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
That sounds great, man. A lot of people take it the wrong way though, because they're like, oh yeah, they're stopping gaming, they're changing their whole roles and what they originated from completely. But for this, we have an image that we're more than just a bunch of people that play games together, that we're a community, and that's kind of what we have our goals for. So I think
Yep.
that would also help us because we're not just set to play video games. We're built as a community, and that's what we're going for in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that as well. So, Rage,
Yeah.
I knew you. I knew you. I know you were gonna say something. I knew you were gonna say something and squeeze something. And what were you really gonna let out right now?
I
I'm
was I
really
was gonna
curious.
I was gonna make April laugh because one of the original things I said to April when he recruited me was, April, I think we need to make merch. I think we need to have a website, and I think we just need to take this and make this a brand. And you know what his response to me was?
What?
What was
You know what
it?
I think you need to do, Rage? I think you need to go recruit.
Oh God. Okay. Well, there you go. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, yeah, but
tip.
Rage, what did that recruiting get for you? Now we got that merge, right?
We got them. And yeah, the website was definitely a flop. I remember spending countless sleepless nights on that just to come back and have it say, "Oh, yeah, we went to Discord. We don't use the website anymore." Um, so that was a fun one. But yeah, in the long run, what am I still doing? I'm still recruiting.
But
I
all
think
right.
April's message
So
was right.
so I know there's been a lot of history between you and Apo Rage. Give me like one funny story that like one of your funniest moments with Rage, and then we'll do it vice versa, Apo. We'll start with Rage first.
I think the funny moment with Rage happen every time he's playing with anybody. Because as soon as we get into a game and someone makes one mistake, you'll be on top of a house saying like blackout or something, and he'll be over there by the tree, and he'll be like, "Yo, he's over there, he's over there," and like Mio's like, "Where?" And he's like, "Over there," and we're like, he's like at the tree, and Mio's like, "Which tree?" And Rage is like, "Bro, are you kidding me? You don't know what tree? There's only 200." And then everybody that doesn't know Rage is like, "Okay, that's why he's named SG Rage." That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I bet Rage. I bet that's why I was saying earlier. That's kind of why I see that coming. I see where that comes from. So Rage, any funny stories that you got for me?
Bro, I remember from this whole time was when I first met Apo. I met him on Infinite Warfare, and we're in a
Oh
lobby,
no.
and all I'm hearing is this damn pen salesman come out of nowhere is trying to sell me this idea of a gaming community out of
In a
nowhere
game lobby. In a game lobby.
in a game lobby. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll join. I join, and like 3 weeks after I join, this man comes to me, calls me at like 2 in the afternoon randomly, and goes, "Rage, I have a story for you." I said, "Okay." He said, "You know, I've been going through my stuff with my baby mama and everything else." I said, "Yes." I said, he goes, "Boy, have I got a story for you." I said, "Okay, lay it on me." Sitting there, I'm like, "All right, so let's get it on here." He goes, "So I was in court, blah 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 blah." He goes, "My lawyer's name is John Jenkins." I said, "Wait, wait." So,
No.
April, please describe John for everybody in the chat.
I mean, hopefully he's not watching, right? But anyways, so John, I mean, he's a great guy. I met him through obviously the wrong time, kind of wanting to meet people. It's not like we went out to eat. I met him, but anyways, um, basically the story that Ray just wanted to say is like the guy is not like an extremely charismatic guy. He's kind of like off the rails kind of guy. And with that being said, I think what Ray just wanted me to describe is like you wouldn't expect the semi-professionalism from him, but the whole redneck side of him you could kind of see. And I mean, he's a different kind of character for sure.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
So basically, I'm sitting there and he's telling me this story, and he's talking about his legal case and what they're going through and what everything. And he's telling me how this judge is going to dismiss the case and how it went quicker than his attorney thought. And he comes in to explain it. He said, "My attorney looked at me. He said, 'Hold up, David. Let me go spit my chaw out in the bathroom, and we gonna go inside. We gonna get these charges dropped, and you're gonna go home tonight.'" I said, "What?" I said, "Wait, what?" I said, "Dog, you were looking at like 6 months in jail, and he gets the charges dropped." But the worst part about it was when he said, "I'm gonna go spit my chaw out." I imagined just this southern fucking dude wearing some shit kicker boots, just walking
Typical
into the
role.
courtroom with some steel tips on them boys, just walking in the courtroom. He looks like McCree from Overwatch. Just it's high noon.
The big iron on his hip.
Yeah, big iron on his hip. Just walking into the courtroom, just flops it on the table for the judge. Judge, we are dropping these charges right here today. My client's home. He's
I
gonna be
don't
with
know
his
if he threw
kids.
it through the folder or the dip can at the same time at the judge.
Yeah. He just pushes the raincoat back. He just. We're gonna do
Just
this.
imagine he shoots a star on the wall with a 6-shooter. Just
The best part of that though was that every time he called me, he acted as if caller ID wasn't a thing. Like I didn't ever save his number. Because every time he called, he'd be like, "This is John Jenkins. David there?" Every time. I'm like, "Yeah, John, this is me." And every time, he called me 2 days later. "This is John Jenkins."
Wow.
Like I had
Like
forgot.
you never saved his number.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in
And
the old days. Oh god. Cordless phones, right? Jesus. uh, so all right, so good stuff. I mean, we've had some pretty good, interesting topics here. No questions yet. But all right, so let's talk about the history a little bit of SGG, Apo. Just give me a little rundown, pretty much, on how you kind of built yourself up. I mean, I know most people know it, but some of our viewers probably haven't. So,
right. So first off, this is the thing that if a lot of members know me, they they say if Apo was a gambling man, he never would have bet on SGG. Because at the first it did not look promising. Let me tell you a little bit about the first of SGG while I was the owner of it. We had a Rocket League squad led by a 13-year-old. Boy, how far we have came since those days. If anybody mentioned that today, then we'd have a hissy fit. But anyways, not to mention the way the 13-year-old got in, I don't want to know about. But anyways, so the beginning of SGG, it kind of got to be a phenomenon without me realizing it. We had started, recruiting me, and I just started recruiting on Infinite Warfare. It was the only Call of Duty I had, and when I went into Call of Duty, this one even I came from advanced, so I was like, I'm kind of used to the whole mechanics, so I was pretty decent at the game. And then I started coming across these guys, and the thing I was trying to explain to them is like, hey, what if I told you that you don't have to look for people to play games anymore? That you don't have to, wait for all your friends to get online, that never get online, that play like once a week because mom wants to take out the trash every day, and that takes 10 hours. But regardless, is that we were trying to build something that, honestly, at the time, I didn't think would happen. And I think, a member, Hypothesis, I think he said it pretty much best. It was something I needed at the time. So I think I invested a lot of time into it. And it kind of took off. And I don't know really where it started, but I do know that it did start from the moment we started getting people like we have in this call. People like Mio. Mio, he brought a whole different, aspect to SGG. I'm not a technology guy, and he was like, "Hey, Paul, let me tell you about Discord." And at the time, I just had Rage, and if anybody knows Rage, he's not very technological savvy either. And then Rage and me were working on this website. Like he was saying, Raina, get a little bit more background on that. But we were working on this website for about 7 to 8 hours a night, and he was in school. He was in high school at the time, and it'd be like 4 a.m. He's like, "Hey, Paul, I gotta go to bed." I was like, "No, we gotta finish this, Rage." And then Mio got recruited. And then Mio got recruited, and Rage had to focus on his grades, so he wasn't that active at the time. And Mio was like, "Yo, Apol, let me tell you about this thing called Discord." And we had tried Discord before. I was like, "No, I don't want to hear it." And he started showing me some stuff, and granted, there was some screaming and yelling going on, but I ended up kind of liking it to the point to where Mio was like, "Yeah, why don't we just go ahead and get rid of this website?" And the first thing I was thinking, I was like, "I really want to piss Rage off. Let's do it."
Bro,
so when
bro.
Rage got back, I said, "Rage, two things I want you to hear today." And he was like, "What's up, Apo?" And I was like, I want you to meet Mio." And he's like, "Who the fuck's Mio?" And I was like, "Well, Mio's the guy that did away with your website." And he was like, "You did what?" I was like, "Yeah, the website's not a thing anymore." He was like, "Oh my god, no!"
Bro, dead
All,
ass. I was gone for like 3 months, and I come back during the summer, and literally I get on Xbox for 20 minutes, and I literally get into a party. I'm invited immediately when I get online. Like there's no hesitation. As soon as I hit the fucking Xbox dashboard, I had an invite in my fucking inbox already, ready to go. Like. And I joined. I was like, okay, hi, like I'm back. Like I can help again. Like I can do this. He goes, all right, well, Rage, we got a lot of stuff has been updated. I was like, oh, cool. So how's the website doing? He goes, yeah, I want to talk about that. As soon as I heard these words, I was like, oh no, what the hell happened? So I'm sitting there. He goes, this is at the time his name was what the hell was your name, Mio? Like
Pro Beast.
Oh, Pro Beast. Oh,
Pro Beast.
SGG Pro Beast. Oh,
Wow, back in the day,
going
huh?
going back in the day, dog. But he's like, I want you to meet Pro Beast. He's our new media guy, basically. I was like, all right, well, cool. Like, hi, like, how you doing? And we were playing a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it's hearing about something about a Discord. I'm like, okay, so we just have this Discord on the side, so it helps us with coordinating things. And then April comes out of nowhere and says, "Yeah, Rage, you remember that website that we were doing for like 14 hours a night? Like, yeah, the website you worked on from like 4 in the afternoon until 4 in the morning." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, we ain't using that shit no more." I said, I literally I left the party and shut off my Xbox. I dead ass shut off my Xbox.
Rage. The
Destroy his
rage.
Xbox.
Literally, I texted his phone number. I said, "Bro," I said, you're literally kidding me, right?" He's
you know
like,
how many hours we
"No."
didn't sleep?
Bro, I literally said that. I said, do you realize how much time I put into that? I'm sitting there. He's asking me to implement a whole damn currency system for the server, giving roles and shit from on the website. He's wanting me to code in like little icons for people. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to do this. Please.
All right, so let me let's see, how can I say this? So, do you think this change was for the best or for the worst? Obviously, probably for the best, because I really appreciate the Discord. To be honest, I like how
I mean,
You're welcome,
concept.
fellas.
in terms of overall, yes, I like the Discord, but I would have liked my 4 days of sleep that I lost working on the website back.
Yeah, so shout out to Mio. Shout out to Mio for helping out, making that
Yo,
improvement.
speaking about shout outs, we got a couple people who just subscribed to the YouTube and some guys that
Nice. Oh
followed on the
yeah,
Twitch. Shout out to
nice.
you guys.
Shout out to all you guys for tuning in and subscribing. Much appreciated, everybody. All right, so we got a question here. This one goes, I guess, for everyone. We'll start off with Micha. Micha, give us one of your most embarrassing moments.
Don't say Apex with Apo either.
All
All right, I
right,
guess it
how
has
about
to be
I
Rocket
guess
League with people
we
then.
could keep it. Should we keep it in within SGG? It doesn't really describe. It says mainly in life, but I mean, whatever you guys decide.
I mean, I
It's
think
up to you.
most of y'all's embarrassing moments are in SGG, so I say keep it up.
All right, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, okay, go ahead, Micha.
I mean, my most embarrassing moment is pretty much playing any game of April. That's I sweat buckets. It's like I've been in the desert for 14 weeks when I play with April.
For real.
Screaming. It's like
Bro,
he was in
Bro.
Vietnam.
try and play
Like,
Rocket
seriously.
League with him.
He's
Swear to
throwing
God.
things. I played Rocket League with him. He was bumping his card to my card, going, yeah.
Bro, every time I turn around when I play Rocket League with so like bad because I literally just ran in. Like every time I go to rotate back, he's just there. I'm like, oh. When I play with him, he's just silent, and then like I hit him, he's like, oh. Like he just makes like a little groan sound when I hit him. Like you just tell that he's mad. Like you just tell. Like you didn't have to say anything.
Don't ever try to play Rocket League. That's like competitive Rocket League with him, bro. Dog, you miss half of a rotation, and he goes, Bro, I swear to God, you're so slow. I don't understand how I play with you. You guys are so slow.
Bro.
You guys gotta move. I'm sorry.
I asked my VP for a Discord server yesterday, and he called me a dumbass.
I mean, you guys say, hey, Apola, let's play this. And I'm like, you sure about that? And then like, we play, and then they're being silent too. I'm like, maybe he's just focusing. and then they start messing up. They're like, I'm so sorry, Apo. But I mean, I think if we're talking about like some gameplay moments, I don't know if you guys have ever played with Spyro, but I was playing PUBG with Spyro one time in a full game, and I think Rage was there too. But no, it wasn't Rage; it was somebody else. But there's two members and me and Spyro, and when Spyro he said I need 5.56. The whole team ran over to Spyro besides me and just dropped their entire inventory. And then, hold on, I didn't realize this until we got into a firefight. And I'm like, why are me and Spyro the only? I was like, what are you guys doing? They're like, well, Spyro has all the ammo, sir. I'm like, what? I'm like, why? They're like, because he is a better sir. I'm like, what the? I was like, we need you to be shooting. Hello?
They dropped all their ammo for Spyro. They didn't have shit to shoot.
Just running around with pans trying to hit people.
But they kept their gun, I guess, to intimidate the other team.
They had one clip of ammo, and that was it. It was a Hail Mary play. Bro, okay, so if we're talking about like most embarrassing gaming moments, anybody who's ever watched me and Apo play UFC should just know. Bro, okay, so
screaming from Apo, just him screaming at you.
So basically, me and Apo playing UFC is the equivalent of a fucking cat fight at a school. We have a set of rules. We just play with our created characters that are 100 overalls, and we sit there. Big Daddy Diesel. And we're sitting there playing, right? And we have this rule. It's knockouts only. So you have to try to beat each other standing up. Bro, I tell you, when I've never went on a longer losing streak than playing UFC against Apo. I don't know how he does it. I'm literally playing the exact way he does, and somehow at the end of the match, I have 0 stamina. He has 3/4 of his fucking stamina bar left. I'm like, what is going on here exactly? Activated some damn cheat codes or something, dog. Like, when I tell you that I lost 10 games straight before I won a game against Apo, I'm not lying. Literally, our record to this day is 13 wins for Apo and 2 wins for me. Literally. Bro, and the two wins that I got. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The 2 wins that I got, one of them was because I dove on the ground and hit him in the fucking face, literally 4 seconds before the match ended because I wanted to win, and the other one was because I think I clipped him randomly in a match and it knocked his character out.
Oh God!
That's
So,
deep.
Apo. I guess you're you're a character when it comes to gaming, man. And I got for that firsthand yesterday. We were playing some Battlefield 1. At like what, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was something like that. Those damn blueberries, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
that was terrible.
That was horrible. That was definitely horrible. We got to redo that again. But Micha, you got any questions for anybody? Anything?
Yo, April, I think someone's calling you out. His name is that guy. Beat every podcast, the UFC.
Oh yeah, April, Mr. That Guy. I will beat everyone in this podcast at UFC.
Oh,
my gamer tag is in the pic, man. Hit me up on Xbox.
Bet.
Say
Hey,
less. I'll
stream
broadcast it for next week's broadcast.
Yeah, can we broadcast it?
UFC tournament for the podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we have a lot of history with each other since you guys started, all of you guys. So I guess Mio was part of that change as well.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. He was adopted like halfway through.
You're like, yeah, this guy can't eat gluten. He looks special. We should get him. You know.
So I just want a few questions. How do you guys feel about SGG currently and its status right now? What do you guys feel? We'll start with Apo.
Um, you know, SGG currently it's kind of in a unique position, especially over here in the Xbox division with you guys. It has like two routes it could take. It could kind of take like a median route where it just stays consistent, or it could take like a skyrocket route. We have some leaders over here that are phenomenal at what they do. Then we have a lot of people that don't want to help, which is granted that's within the community. We got a lot of people at the bottom that just want to chill and play games. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, in order to make things run, there is such thing as too many Indians, not enough Chiefs.
Right.
So, like I said, I think it's in a unique position. I think it could go really high, and things could really take off over here for you guys. Or I think that it could kind of stay on a consistent pattern. I mean, I'm not really
Mm-hmm.
sure. Time will tell.
Right. Right. Very good. Very good. Explaining. All right. So, what about you, Rage? What do you think? How do you
Here
feel
we go.
about the current status for SGG at the moment? And this is a
Uh,
question that we've all been waiting for. Okay, just to let you know,
okay. So what, like, in terms of what do you mean? What do you mean by status? Is
well,
my
I mean,
question.
what like how you see it currently versus how it started back in the days when you guys
Um,
started. How, like, do you?
there was no such thing as Fortnite when we started it, and yeah, that definitely that's a plague on the community. Anyway, uh, no, overall, I mean, I've still enjoyed this community. I've enjoyed this community for fucking April. What is it now? Almost 2.5 years,
It's getting there.
and it's up there, dog. I've been here. Like Apo said, I was the seventh person recruited in when he took ownership of the community. So
Okay.
um, I've been here for a hot minute, and basically, I mean, I've liked some of the changes, and obviously, I've not liked some of the changes. I mean, there's people that have been my friends that are still my friends that
Hmm.
got removed from the community or left the community or whatever else and went on their own path, and that's their choice. But
Right.
I've stayed here for a reason, and I mean, it's a second home for me when I'm either not at home or there's something going on in my house that I feel is just needs a break. So I mean,
Right.
it's always been a home, but I mean, in terms of the current state of the community, I mean, it we just need to get more people playing and develop some leaders and
Yep.
get get some new faces in here.
Right. Definitely, I agree with that. We do have a question for you guys. What are the main changes? What are the main changes SCG has seen over the last 7 months? So, I have personally been here for probably heading into my fifth month now. Can we start off with Apo? Maybe since you've been here the longest, what kind of changes have you seen in the last 7 months? Maybe one, maybe a couple.
To start with, the guy that's asking the question isn't here anymore.
Damn.
What?
I know that guy too. I know that guy too.
But
Yikes, bro!
I wasn't trying to be a savage or nothing. But anyways, but the biggest thing I think that's changed is overall is that every little bit we get what I call it's not about loyal followers on a daily basis or a weekly basis, but the more silly things happen, it seems like the more traction that SGG picks up. I kind of call it like the immunity clause, which is when people like for example the spinoff clans they don't have such as an effect as they used to. Like the first one was like it took 300 members from us. The most recent one took 10. So things like that. I mean, it's just that we're getting better
Right.
all across the board in every facet. We listen to feedback more. We're probably a lot more open with the members than we used to be. Um, and that was not saying that it wasn't to begin with. Is that we let the members see and hear more, kind of like I mean what we're doing now. I mean, you guys are talking to me and people that have helped make this community run for a long time. And 8 months ago, if Mio would have said, "Hey, April, let's do this," I'd have been like, "No, no, we ain't doing that." No.
Right. Right.
So I mean, like you said, I think just the overall ideology of the community has changed a lot.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. We have another question. Says, do you have any in-game? Now I'm gonna rephrase your question, bro, because we're not a clan, we're a community. Do you have any in-game squad in Division 2? That's from Exploited X. Yes, we do, bro. We have currently we do have a Division 2 squad that would be Hades. So if you ever
No, no,
looking into
he's
Uh,
talking about the
The
in-game clan. Like there's an actual
in-game
in-game
clan,
clan.
in-game clan. Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
but
I
only
don't play Division
only
2, so I
sh-
wouldn't know what.
hey, whoever whoever
only
need whoever
SUG
needs some
members can join that though.
hey, whoever wants to get recruited into SGG, hit me up. I need my recruits. Come on now.
Hey, you can't steal all the
Hey,
light, man.
now you're
You know,
talking.
SDG one light. You know the vibes.
All right, so Exploited X, if you would like to join the community, you can reach out to one of us. And yes, I guess apparently we do have a
SGG Rage.
in-game clan Division 2. We do have one. Um, all right. So
You missed the
pretty much
question from the chiller.
did I really? Oh, okay. There it is. What changes do you want to see in SGG in the near future? I think we kind of covered that a little bit, but Apo, is there anything that you want to kind of see happen? Any type? I mean, I know you have Phantom. You know you have a lot of other stuff. What like? Let's just if we had to put a timeline on it, what do you see yourself or what do you see SGG in like 5 months from now?
Well, I mean, it's like I said, if you had asked me this when we started SGG, hey, would you see yourself doing a podcast in 2 years? Probably not. So I mean, I'm not really good at fortune telling. Obviously, that's not
Right.
my profession. But I can tell you, if everybody does their part and does what I think they're going to do, I think that people are going to be surprised about SGG in general. Once again, we've broken a lot of different records. We've been noticed on multiple different platforms as far as most active players and things like that. And we also have a great media side of things that just now like we're tapping into. But that's what I'm saying is that if everybody puts their heads together, I think the sky's the limit for SGG in the future.
Nice. Yeah. Yes. What about you, Rage? What about for Hades? Where do you see Hades in the next couple months here?
I mean, hopefully not as inactive as it currently is. I mean, we need to currently grow our active players. I mean, we have a majority of people that are just playing Division 2, which I'd like to see the number of Call of Duty people grow. Considering that the new Call of Duty is coming out in what, like 4 months?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So let's I want to see, I mean, growth in terms of that.
All
As a
right.
community as a whole, I'd like to see it become one of the top, I mean, producers for Xbox side. I mean, PS4 they've been pretty much rocking since day one. But I mean, I want to overtake them at some point, just so we can say, hey man, we have more members than y'all now. Like, what's good?
Yep. Yeah.
By the way,
Something Apo mentioned a while ago is that the PS4 division has really strict rules and guidelines. I guess that I guess Apo even mentioned that there's times where they're so good at recruiting that they would like purge all 100 inactive members if they had to and just bring a whole new active squad of 100. So I'm like,
I mean,
wow,
yeah.
for them to be doing something like that over at PS4 division, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I didn't, you know what I mean, when he started telling me all those facts about PS4, I was like, wow, like why aren't we there yet? But everything is a process, you know what I mean? It takes time, and I know a lot of people are kind of slowly starting to realize that the help is needed, and everyone's picking it up. So, um, all right, so one way and Mitra, I got a question. So, what about you guys with Aries? Where do you guys see Aries in this?
you want me to answer this?
Yeah, you can start off first, and then we'll go to Mitra.
All right. So, to be honest, I haven't been here for that. I mean, everyone here should know. To most of you frequently. Just not really Rage because I don't really talk to you that much, man. But I mean, I just started. But this is going really well. There's a lot more things that we can improve on, but like little things, just like such as CDAs, which is our like little meetings, not meetings, but we play with each other for an hour on weekdays. And if that improves and we have a little bit more active people, because some of us becoming inactive, and if we could just replenish that with more active people, I think in the future this part of the community would be great. It could be something better.
Right, right. So what about you, Micha, as the commander of Aries? Where do you see Aries in the next months? What do you expect?
Uh, I expect all the members to get strikes for asking me if I'm Irish because it's starting to do me head in. Like
And
it's
man, do you eat gluten by any
Hey, bro,
chance?
are you Irish?
oh he thinks he's funny. No, but I see Aries living off 38 CDA again pretty soon.
Mhm.
CDA numbers can definitely rise.
All right, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the more people play together, the more a happy community. You know what I mean? Because everyone wants to have somebody to play with. That's the reason why they're joining. Um, what about you, Mio? Anything you want to add to the next couple months that you would like to kind of see?
I want to see all aspects
Mhm.
grow.
So everything happened at once, right? Yeah, because
Yeah, the media
I think you're
side, the
right on
actual
that point.
division, this podcast grow a lot more.
Hmm.
Get an actual
Yeah.
studio.
By the
Imagine
way,
that. Huh.
right. Yeah. By the way, guys, so all you viewers and everybody in SGG, we are looking for podcast team members from different squads. We have an interview process that we have to go through. So if you want to get up on board and you want to get up on the team, please reach out to myself, any of us here, besides Apo and Rage. They're just guests today. So Micha, one way, Mio or myself, you can reach out, or Hypo. He's one of the main guys too, helping out. So we are looking for people. We'll do an interview process with you guys. So just make sure you reach out to us. But we do have some questions. Apo, this one's for you. Which division do you like more, Xbox or PlayStation? This is interesting.
Um, as far as what division I like the most, you got to think of it from my perspective. Is that I never thought we would be successful. I never thought for more than a day, then it would be more than just 20 people. So I'm blessed to have way more than that. And I look at them both equally. There's people that work hard in both divisions to make the things run that we ultimately want.
Right.
So I mean, I don't really pick favorites. I love all my children equally.
Okay. Nice. That's awesome. So this one's for Rage. Rage, that guy gaming says you smell like hot dog water.
Bro, that ass. Anybody with the fucking thing gaming in their name in 2019, I don't want to hear anything from you.
Bro, you have
Rage,
SGG at the start of your name.
PG-13, man. We're not trying to get copyright or a strike for that
Yeah.
curse
He's
word.
a copyrighted. I'm done. I gotta go.
Rage, you have Smoking Guns Gaming at the start of your name.
Mitchell, we can't even pronounce your name.
Michelangelo.
Gluten head ass.
Okay. All right. So
Wait, can you eat
next.
hot dogs? I don't know if they have gluten in them or not. Just a
Yes, I
question.
can. Yeah. Ah,
Okay, so we got another question here. I guess this is mainly for the Apo and for Mio and myself because we're division guys. Is ARM going to become an Apex only, or are you planning it on keeping it how it is? What are your thoughts, Apo?
Well, I mean, you guys already kind of did that for us, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I coming from Armageddon, it's definitely a go-to game for Armageddon. But I feel
Right.
like there can be some changes. I mean, PUBG as well, isn't really a hot game as much as it used to be. Fortnite is kind of slowly starting to dissipate. But I
Right.
mean, Apex itself, it's we have the player base. I mean, everybody in Armageddon. I wish we had somebody from Armageddon in here right now to answer that
Right.
question.
The
But
biggest I think the biggest thing to answer that question is honestly the marketing side of things. For
mhm,
example, if I said that I have a battle royale squad, that sounds way better than saying we have an Apex squad.
right.
So
Because then
I
you would
mean,
have to open up different squads for each game, and that's just a lot of
yeah,
that's
because
just a
after we
whole
take it
hassle.
out of Armageddon, someone's gonna say, "Hey, can we have a Fortnite squad?"
Right, exactly. So
So,
that answers your question, Sloth. That's pretty much what it is. We have a question from Brian Lockard. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, but do
You
we
missed
ever?
one before that.
Did I
Never mind,
really?
actually. No, you're good.
No, I'm on that one. Do we ever plan on going competitive in anything, Apo or Mio?
We've definitely tried that plenty of times, and it did not work out.
So to answer this question, I don't want anybody out there that's thinking, "Oh, this is my time to scout SGG." Don't get it twisted. We got hitters. All right, we can launch a competitive team with really good players if we wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, people like
Are-
Mishalo and people. I mean, a lot of people. We could go to any chat and get a competitive team going.
Yeah, even
That-
So-
even our not even playing with you. We have like this 3-man squad in Armageddon for Apex that are like unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yo, guys.
so
5-minute mark,
Okay.
all right.
which means
So
5 minutes left.
All right. So
Are we bringing Cole back to be the comp director again?
So yeah.
all right. So we're finishing up these questions. That guy gaming asked Micha, "Are you Scottish?"
Yeah. Yeah. That's
All right. Riptide says, Enzo, you need a new gamer picture. Are you Gen or Division? Yeah, Mio. Are we gonna update that motherfucker or what? I mean,
You gotta
are we
come
gonna
to me,
update?
sir.
I got you. I will update that. Don't worry, Riptide. This recently just happened, and we haven't had time for any of that yet, but it will be changed. Trust me. All right. Last question. We'll just finish it up here. What are your guys' thoughts on Cyberpunk's 27 or 2077
Is lit. I can't wait for it.
And
Awesome.
Crossfire X.
and Crossfire X
I don't know what that is, but I want the Cyberpunk game. Looks lit.
for sure? What is your thoughts, Apo?
Obviously Cyberpunk. I mean, I really like that. I think they got my pre-order in the bag whenever they had Keanu Reeves on the stage. So as far as Crossfire, it looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really into those kind of games, but I mean, who said I can't branch out? You know,
Right.
I'm always up for new things.
Exactly.
So.
Right. Rage, what are your thoughts on that, real quick?
No, I'm sorry. Ask it one more time.
Cyberpunk 2077 and Crossfire X. Those two games.
I've literally haven't seen anything about Crossfire X, so I don't know what to say about that. The only thing I've seen from Cyberpunk is Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
So
All right.
I
So
mean,
basically, Keanu Reeves is
basically,
every guy.
if I'm trying to play John Wick Simulator 2018, 2019, whatever, yeah, I'll buy Cyberpunk to play it. But other than that, yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps all the questions up, and pretty much we'll be wrapping up this podcast for today. I want to thank Apo for coming out, man. Appreciate you having this conversation with us and answering all our questions, and everybody in the group as well, in the stream, in the live stream as well. Thank you so much, Apo. I appreciate it.
It's not a problem, friend. Thank you for having me on.
For sure.
Hey,
Rage, thank
we
you
got a
again.
last minute question.
Yeah. What do you guys think on the Doom Eternal?
Man, where were you guys last week when they started the E3 thing last week? But Doom Eternal, I mean, to be honest with you, I was more of an Unreal Tournament fan when Doom started getting this big thing. I was like a fetus. So that being said, I mean, I'm not extremely into Doom. It's way too fast paced for me. Has way too much going on, and like my ADHD just goes off the rails when I play Doom. So that being said, though, I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. Obviously, I think that they're doing a lot of good changes from what I've seen. The people that
Right.
love Doom seem to like it.
No, yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan.
No, yeah.
2
I
minutes.
have a guy from Blaze that actually started playing that Doom stuff. So, he's been getting into it a lot, but he's still a really good Battlefield player. But other than that, I haven't heard much. I mean, I never played it, but it would be kind of cool, like you said yourself, able to branch out and kind of see some new, stuff. So, but all right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody who's been here today. Mio, thank you again for putting all this together. Hypo, shout out to you too. Micha, One Way, thank you guys for joining us again. We'll be having you guys, as hosts and co-hosts every time. So you guys are doing great. And thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. You guys are all great, and we're gonna keep the podcast alive. That's kind of what we're aiming for. And all the new subscribers, keep on tuning in. Anybody who wants to get artists for recruiting, please
They're
reach out.
roasting us in the comments. I'm kind of sad.
I know, right? Bye, brother Enzo. Jesus.
No, they said the E3 thing last week where you guys talked about Call of Duty the whole podcast.
That is true. Yeah, that was back when. Yeah, that's funny. But all right, guys. Well, that wraps up pretty much everything. We'll have another podcast coming up pretty soon. Uh, thank you guys again, everybody. Appreciate it. All everybody else. It's pretty much a wrap, guys. Thank you.
Easy go.